Thank you, David, and thank you for all being here. It's actually pretty humbling for me to be in the company of people who really have done God's work. It's hard to imagine as a lawyer when these horrific acts occur what you can do about them. All of you actually do that, who participate in bringing to justice these individuals. When I was taking my tour with Greg tonight, I noticed one little vignette from Robert Jackson. It was kind of interesting. In his opening remarks, he said, and there's a little squib up there, it's on the wall, it said, in every genius there's a little bit of evil. And he was describing, of course, Hitler. In this circumstance, I was moved after 9/11 in the same way that David moved me when we were talking about his experience at Sierra Leone. And these things are quite by either chance or by design in my life. I met David Crane, and I was moved in a similar fashion to see that we could recognize these individuals who've done so much for all of us. I can't say that I knew anything about Robert Jackson until David brought it to my attention and I participated here, and I'm learning a little more. I have a couple of his books, and last year I was fortunate enough to be invited to a forum with a number of judges and distinguished individuals. Probably at the close of those comments, individual Barrett Prettyman, who many of you are acquainted with, gave us a snapshot of what it was like to actually work with him. And I thought that to be quite compelling and informative. So I'm pleased to be here tonight. I'm happy to share some of the success I've had, to recognize others who've been successful at great sacrifice to their families, and I applaud them and those who will come after. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Josh. Again, your support is important at so many levels, and again, the support of people in this room is so important to the Jackson Center and the work that goes on here in Jamestown. But to introduce Bill Kaming, I'd ask Mr. Warren Popp, who is the editor-in-chief of Impunity Watch.
H.W. William Kaming was born in New York City in 1919. As a young man, he visited Europe twice in the 1930s. While there in Scotland, he witnessed the date of the Nazi invasion of Poland and the start of World War II on September 1st, 1939. He attended New York University, where he received his bachelor's degree, and he received his master's in labor law from NYU Law School. He finished his legal education with a doctorate from Harvard. After the United States entered World War II, he joined the United States Air Force and spent 27 months in China and Berlin before returning home after the surrender of Japan. After he returned home, he was given the opportunity to be a principal prosecutor in the Nuremberg trials. He was involved in the 11th case, the so-called Ministries case. His official title was Chief Prosecutor and Deputy Director of the Political Ministries Division, Office of the U.S. Chief of Counsel for War Crimes at Nuremberg. The Ministries case was the biggest, longest, and last of the U.S. Nuremberg Military Tribunal trials, and it ended in April 1949. The case became known as the Ministries case because the Americans tried members of the German Foreign Office and other government ministries of the Nazi regime. Kaming prosecuted 21 defendants. The most well-known was Erich von Weizsäcker, I apologize, my German there, father of the later German President Richard. The tribunal held that bloodless Nazi invasions of Austria and Czechoslovakia were aggressive in nature and, accordingly, crimes against peace. Of the 21 defendants arraigned, 2 were acquitted. The others were found guilty on at least one count in the indictment and received prison sentences ranging from 3 to 25 years. When he returned home, he responded to calls from the CIA, the FBI, and Congress to act as a privacy and security consultant. Afterwards, he worked nationally as senior counsel for the American Telephone and Telegraph Company for 19 years on privacy issues. Since his retirement from AT&T in 1984, he has advised the American Bar Association on privacy matters, sitting on the ABA Advisory Committee on Privacy. Today, Kaming lives in Summit, New Jersey. So thank you. Please welcome me. Please help me honor Mr. Kaming.
In case number 11, now pending before this tribunal.
Please, this honorable tribunal, the defendants are all present in the dock except Otto Meissner, sick in hospital. Each defendant will rise when his name is called and answer the questions.
Defendant Ernst von Weizsäcker, how do you plead to this indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Ich erkläre mich für nicht schuldig.
Wilhelm Kepler.
Bin nicht schuldig.
Defendant Ernst Wilhelm Bohle.
Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Defendant Ernst Werman. Defendant Otto von Erdmannsdorf. Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Defendant Otto Dietrichman, guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Order Schellenberg, how plead you to this indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Defendant Paul Plager, how plead you to the indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Defendant Hans Kehr, how plead you to the indictment? Guilty or not guilty?
Ich bin nicht schuldig.
Im Nürnberger Gerichtsgebäude fand der letzte Prozess gegen Verbrechen im Dritten Reich seinen Abschluss. 21 Diplomaten Hitlers hatten sich in dem sogenannten Wilhelmstraßenprozess vor dem amerikanischen Militärtribunal zu verantworten. Das Gericht erkannte 19 der Angeklagten als Befehlsgeber zu verschiedenen Verbrechen für schuldig. Staatssekretär Ernst von Weizsäcker hört sein Urteil: 7 Jahre Gefängnis. Chef über SS-Obergruppenführer Berger, Leiter des SS-Hauptamtes. In der Urteilsverkündung erklärte das Gericht, dass die während des Prozesses beleuchteten Vorgänge der Hitlerzeit eine Chronik der Schande und Erniedrigung darstellten.
Well, 2 years in a row. What a stand-in, huh? Bill, please accept this.
Thank you very much. I accept this for Bill Kaming for all the work he did, and thanks to the Heintz Foundation and Joshua for this wonderful honor. I know he'll really appreciate. Thank you. And it's kind of nice to be up here twice.
We will see him at the board meeting in November.
You're right,
We'll
right.
do it formally.
But thank you for all the work you've done and everything you've done to help the Robert Jackson Center, and this special award I know Bill will really enjoy.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
With bagpipes.
All night.
Greg,
All night. He's got a crowd.
he's got a crowd.
Bill, you're the luckiest man in the world. So much talent there, Bill.